People deluded. Now, quick vid, I'm not going to keep you here long. If I'm here longer than 2 minutes, then I've not done my job correctly, but deluded and them things. Now, Lacazette is a player I've got a lot of time for. Is a player that, for me anyways, last season he's shown that he's Premier League standard and he can play a major part at Arsenal. He's clearly a goal scorer. His stats should show that. But for me, I knew he was technically good. But obviously, when someone's playing for your club week in, week out, and you're watching them week in, week out, I was pleasantly surprised by his footballing IQ, his actual playmaking abilities and things. People always say Kane's got good playmaking and he could have been a 10, quite rightly so. I think Laka could have in another universe too. Last year was a risky move and a gamble which on the face of it didn't pay off, just on the basis that he wanted to make the World Cup. Maybe if he stayed at Lyon he might have been playing at the World Cup, but I don't necessarily think Deschamps rates him madly like that. But we can only deal with it. He came Arsenal, he played with an injury that we knew about in the summer. He had a period off, he had a period out of form. He still walked away as our top goal scorer and with a respectable return from the campaign and finished the campaign strongly. But yeah, it was a risk that didn't pay off. He didn't go to the World Cup and he should be happy for his colleagues, which he probably is. But bittersweet because he would have felt what could have been. I could have been involved in that. Probably talking to Talisio, Fekir and Griezmann in particular. No disrespect to Giroud because Giroud should be happy as well. And it's not Giroud's fault that he's a favourite necessarily of Deschamps. But he might be looking at the likes of Giroud and even though he's not in his position, Rami, for example, people that are below par that are in the side costing him one. And I felt you should use that to fuel your season. Do I feel he's been amazing since the season started like Mo Salah at the start of last year? No, but I felt his influence has been good. His play has been good for Arsenal. He looks a different player. His shoulders are higher. His chest is bigger. He looks like he believes in himself. 7 games played in the Premier League, or I believe in total. 7 games played and he's had a hand in 4 goals, 2 assists. In fact, that don't even sound legit. So let me be the correct person and look at his stats. Go on that transfer mark. 27, right? See, he's peak powers, man. He should be looking at the Euro. Now it's realistically the Euros now, people, which is in 2020, which is might as well give or take a year, 18 months now. So what, people? 9 appearances. He's got 3 goals and 3 assists. 7 in the Premier League, 2 goals and 2 assists. So I was kind of on the right track about 7 games. 7 games, 2 goals, 2 assists, and he's made an appearance and got an assist in Europa. So 9 games, and he's had a hand in 6 goals. So his influence has been there, his technical ability has been there, statistically he's been there. So you would like to think he's done enough to get a call up. Deschamps has constantly said he wants to see a bit more from Lacazette, and it's early in the season, so obviously a lot of the World Cup favourites are still going to be around and stuff, and maybe as France go on in regards to their qualification for the European Euros, the squad changes, new blood is brought in, people are removed, because for me, I thought he done enough to at least be called up in some capacity, but when I look at the squad, like I just type in now, people, for you, sorry for shaking the thing, I slapped the keyboard like an idiot. France national team roster. Okay, I would have just said call up. Alright, let's try find this now. Okay, you're taking me to sections I don't need to see. Okay, but the recent call ups, there's no point talking about the keepers, even though Lafont should be called up, but let's just look at the whole. I might as well talk about the whole squad. Pavard, Kimbile, Varane, Zuma, Dijené, Sidibe, Lucas Hernandez, Sacco. Sacco, he's watching you, innit? I feel Sacco's a decent centre-half, but I would have felt if any centre-half that's French and not playing for the top 6, it should kind of be Diop of West Ham, because he's been alright. Laporte, I don't know why neither France nor Spain rate him, but it is what it is. Not that he's playing amazing either. Midfield, you got Pogba, Ndombele, who I believe should be at PSG or Manchester City next year, or even United. You got Kante, you got Matuidi, who's 32, probably of age enough to make the Euros next year, and he's a trusted member of Deschamps, and he's put in performances to show that. And Zonzi's been bust, and the striking options or the attacking options, you've got Thauvin, you've got Fekir, you've got Dembele, you've got Mbappe, you've got Giroud, you've got Lemar, you've got Griezmann. It's tough to make a case for Lacazette over any of them. The most notable one would probably be Giroud, to which you can't really get onto Giroud because the manager uses him in a way that thrives for France, and Giroud brings, I don't want to say he brings the best out of Griezmann and Kylian and that, but through his holding up the play and things like that, he allows the more technically blessed players to shine. So yeah, obviously if I looked at this side and looked at favourites, I would probably say Matuidi and Giroud. Thauvon's a good player, but yeah, there's not really anything to suggest that Lacazette should get ahead of almost anyone really. But not that I mean I would have him in the squad, but a lot of these players deserve their side, their space in this side. So he's just gonna have to carry on, man. And that's not just him. There's the Martial hasn't been in good form because he hasn't been given opportunities. But there's Martial. I believe Kingsley Coleman is injured. There's Kingsley Coleman. Rabiot's not even in this side. Obviously, he rejected being called up to the standby list, so that's probably why. But he's not even in the squad. So it just the pure strength in depth with France is ridiculous, and I don't necessarily think his form suggests it yet. But you guys know I rate Croissant so for some reason, for a reason, and for some reason he's not been given a look in from France. So that shows you the quality of what they have, young and old, from under 17s to the first team. I don't know what's in the water in France, or what's in their Ciroc, but they're moving mad. So yeah, man. It's a shame he's not in the France squad. But Lacazette, all you gotta do is keep going, man, and just keep eyeing up them Euros. So yeah, guys, DG, I'm out. There's nothing more to add or say.